Welcome everybody. It's Friday and it's the Assisting Hands Richmond Friday finish. I hope everybody had a good week. I'm Eric Rohr. I'm the owner of Assisting Hands Richmond. Let me get my screen shared here. As always, it takes me a second to figure out everything I need to do. All right, here we go. All right. Again, I'm Eric Rohr. I'm the owner of Assisting Hands Richmond. Welcome to the Friday finish. Just a real quick word about Assisting Hands. We're a home care business based here in Richmond. We serve the entire Richmond area, all the way down to Petersburg, out past Goochland, out towards the airport, up past Ashland. So pretty much anywhere within the greater Richmond area where we provide home care services. We provide services to help people of all ages with the activities of daily living, personal care, companion care. We help with bathing, grooming, medication reminders. And we're actually very specialized in dementia care services. We have a certified dementia coach on staff, and I'll mention something about that in a bit. But anyway, our goal at Assisting Hands is to help you remain happy and at home. So let's get into a few things that happened this week. It was a really busy week. So I can't believe November's here. And so November is Home Care and Hospice Month. I know it's a lot of different months, but as it pertains to kind of the industry that I operate in, it's Home Care and Hospice Month. And so as part of that, we're gonna be doing some events around that. And one of them is I'm teaming up with several other companies, Executive Care, which is also a home care company here in Richmond. They're a great group. I know Tim, the owner, and he's a great guy. Bickford Senior Living, Bliley's, Blue Ridge Senior Living, and Dispatch Health. We're all getting together and we're providing lunches for hospice and the home health care appreciation. It is a drive-through lunch. We're going to be in 2 locations. The week of November 16th. The information's on the screen. If you're interested, you can reach out to me or email Jennifer Moss at Bliley's and get your order in and where you're going to pick it up. So we're really happy to be able to provide those lunches. The other thing is, another drive-through thing that I got the benefit of is Daphne Marshall down at the Memory Center. They had a drive-through appreciation breakfast. So I went down there and drove through and got breakfast. You can see the Memory Center. It's down near St. Francis Hospital. It's a gorgeous building. And you can see the staff there posing for pictures as they handed out breakfasts. And I very much appreciate that. And we look forward to working with them. The other thing I participated in is on Thursday, Cheryl Toller, the Crossings at Iron Bridge, had a virtual Zoom trivia contest. And so a bunch of us signed on, and guess who won a free lunch for the office? That's right. Hopefully this worked. Hopefully that's pointing up to a picture of me in the corner. In all truth though, everybody who was on the trivia contest actually won, because I think we all answered them all correctly. But Cheryl's going to be dropping by next week and delivering a Chick-fil-A lunch to the Assisting Hands office. So that's great. I'm really thankful for Cheryl. She's awesome, very creative, and for holding the event and then for providing us lunch. All right, brings us to our October Superstar. Our STAR program is our setting targets and achieving results. We have various different types of stars, but our Superstar is basically our employee of the month for the month of October. Shalana is the one who won it. She's doing an awesome job. She has one of our clients is in an assisted living community here in the Richmond area, and she is really bonded with her and is doing a great job. So congratulations, Shalana gets a gift card and a certificate of appreciation. So we're really happy with everything she does for us. The next thing is last Saturday, we actually had our Walk to End Alzheimer's, the Assisting Hands Richmond Walk to End Alzheimer's team. A few of us got together and walked in the office park where our offices are located. There's a picture of us. Kathy Hamlin is there. My father's there, my wife, and one of my dad's friends, and my big forehead is showing there at the bottom of the screen. Really proud of the team. Great day for the walk, but we also exceeded our goal in raising money. So I'm going to continue to ask for support there because the Alzheimer's Association has extended the fundraising deadline to the end of 2020. So we're not going to just stop just because we hit our goal and the first deadline was there. So I'll probably be asking for more support, but thank you to everybody who had participated and supported today. So the next thing is next Thursday, November 12th at 2 p.m. We're going to have the next dementia workshop. The subject is dementia conversations. We'll be talking about difficult conversations around driving, doctor's visits, and financial and legal matters that may come up with people living with dementia. And it's actually, so we'll be doing it from perspective of having those conversations in either preparation of dementia or, as the dementia gets worse, some of the things that we think are important to kind of get in place. So if you're interested, contact me, go to my Facebook page, go to my LinkedIn page, and you can register to attend. It's all complimentary and free. And that's all led by Kathy Hamlin, who's our executive administrator, who is a certified dementia coach, certified by Teepa Snow and the Positive Approach to Care. And Teepa Snow is wonderful. And so we've done 3 of them already, and people have really enjoyed those. All right. That brings me to the shout out of the week. And I'm really excited for this week's guest. And it's Linda Caruthers with Long-Term Care Consultants. So Linda, say hi. So
hi, everyone. Thank you, Eric. I'm happy to be here. And just so everyone knows, November is also Long-Term Care Awareness Month, Eric. So we share the month for many reasons.
Yes, perfect. Well, thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. That's good. Real quick about Linda, so many of my clients, our clients here at Assisting Hands, use long-term care insurance to pay for care, and it's a great product. And to be quite honest, we know how to kind of do the assignment of benefits. We know how to work with the insurance companies to get paid. However, I didn't really know a lot about the product itself. And so I saw a webinar being done that Linda was hosting about learn more about long-term care insurance. So I tuned in. Linda was really great information. I learned a ton, and I said, wow, this would be really great for the people who may tune into my Friday finishes to learn more about long-term care insurance. So anyway, that's how I got connected with Linda. She was gracious enough to agree to do this. And so again, thank you, Linda, for coming on board. And why don't we jump into it? And, with a lot of these people who watch my other Friday finishes, I love to understand why are people doing what they are doing. So Linda, can you talk a little bit about why did you start your business?
Eric, thanks again for having me here. And yes, I'll be delighted to share my story. Actually, I got involved with long-term care insurance because of a personal experience. When I was 10 years old, my mom was diagnosed with Legg-Perthes disease, which resulted in the need for surgery. And as a result of the surgery, one of her legs, which was much shorter than the other. She wasn't bedbound, but she was pretty much housebound. So for the next 18 years, my 2 sisters and I took care of my mom until she passed away. So yes, the 3 of us, I being at the age of 10 and my younger sister 8, my older sister in her teens, we provided, well, we didn't know what we were doing at the time, but now I know we were providing long-term care for my mother. I mean, day and night, we just took turns. It was very, very difficult. Needless to say, we didn't have a normal childhood. However, as I finished school and I grew up and matured and entered the insurance world, I got very, very interested in all different kinds of insurance. And then at one point in my life, I was hired as a professional liability consultant for physicians and dentists, providing them their malpractice insurance and working with physicians, especially the geriatric docs. I was introduced to long-term care as well as long-term care insurance. And so of course that piqued my interest. And I thought, well, what do you know? There's actually a policy that pays for what we did. Of course, it didn't exist back then. However, when I realized policies did exist, I thought, okay, I need to learn more about this. So 21 years ago, I became very determined that I was going to focus on long-term care and long-term care insurance. And the question we always ask clients when we meet with clients for the first time, if you had to start paying $3,000 a month for an indefinite period of time, where would it come from? What would be the most tax efficient way for you to pay for you or your loved one's care? Would it be by liquidating an asset? Would it be by selling real estate or rental property? Would it be using your retirement account? What would it be? When you ask that question, that is what spurs the conversations. And we ask a whole lot more questions, especially health related and other things, so that we can help people understand what is the most efficient way for them based on their specific circumstances to pay for care. Is it, again, through a business account? Perhaps if you're a business owner, you can pay for a long-term care policy through your business account. It could very well be a medical expense, a tax deduction. There are many ways that a policy can be funded. We can use assets or cash from a cash value life insurance policy. There are so many different ways. So again, it's not a one size fits all, but the most important piece of it is to understand everyone is different, very, very different. So we do have consultations that there's no charge for a consultation. We'll be happy to explore different options and just have a conversation and see what would be the best way for you to pay for your care. Basically, that's what we do.
Yeah, and so thank you, that's great. And I love the personal story, because I think that really makes people more invested in what they do when they have a personal connection and they understand kind of the struggles that they may have gone through, that really they can then bring value, and they can, kind of empathize with their clients, exactly what they're going through. And it's not just a cold kind of transactional relationship. So I love hearing that. So talk a little bit more about the services you provide. So you're not an insurance company.
No.
You provide advice. So talk a little bit more about that.
Okay, Eric. There are three or four, well, actually there are three different types of long-term care insurance policies you can purchase. And right now on the market, among those three types of policies, there are probably around 10 different insurance companies. So we're not employees of any particular insurance company. We are what you might call a broker. We represent all the companies. And so when we meet with the client, we have to evaluate what is the appropriate product for you. And we would show a client 2 or 3 different options. And we would say, based on your circumstances, because long-term care insurance is based on health, on gender, on age, on marital status, on financial circumstances. So taking all that information into account and putting it together and creating several options for a client is what we like to do, and say, okay, here are your options. What works best for you? And that's something only the client can determine once they have the education. Really, it's helping them make an informed decision. And the only way anyone can do that is by getting all the education. We also provide policy reviews. Oftentimes, a client may have purchased a policy 30 years ago, or perhaps a parent or a grandparent, and someone now needs to file a claim, and no one knows what the policy really does or doesn't do. So we do provide policy reviews. Policies that were written before HIPAA, before 1996, 97, can be very, very different. And so having someone review the policy with you and go over it and say, hey, please pay attention. This policy will pay for X, Y, and Z, but it may not pay for ABC. So getting that information and understanding what some of the older policies pay for is extremely helpful, especially if the person who purchased the policy can no longer speak for themselves. There's really no one around to remember what that policy, when it was purchased, what it said it would or wouldn't do. So again, a policy review can be extremely helpful.
Well, that's great. And I assume it's like with a lot of the longer term insurance products, it's better to start now, when it's always better to get insurance when you don't need it versus you're on the doorstep of needing long-term care. I'm assuming it is way more expensive to buy insurance policies when you need to almost file claims immediately versus as a financial planning tool earlier in your life.
Eric, yes. If someone purchases a long-term care policy at the age of 35, that individual will never pay as much for that policy as someone purchasing that same policy at the age of 65. The cost of waiting is just unbelievable. But besides that, what really buys long-term care insurance is your health. If you're not healthy, you can't buy anything. I mean, that's it, period, end of story. Regardless of how much money you have or how much you can afford to fund a policy with, if health is an issue, you probably will not be able to buy it. So having a long-term care policy in place, and I tell younger people, if I'm meeting with a 35-year-old, I say, look, you don't need the Cadillac version of a policy, perhaps. Let's get you something, because you can own multiple policies through your lifetime. So if you're 35 and you still have school loans to pay off, or you've got other things going on, get something small, let it sit there, let it build. And then as your circumstances change, look again, buy something else, stack them, in other words, because you can apply for benefits with more than one long-term care policy. And that's another financial planning tool. Just know what you can and cannot do based on your age and where you are in your life at that point in time. So yes, it can make a huge difference. Absolutely. Long-term care insurance is based again on health, age, gender, marital status, and it could be domestic partner, same gender, opposite gender, it doesn't matter. Females typically pay a higher rate because females live longer. Statistically speaking, females live longer than males. So the female will pay a higher rate. All things being equal, if I've got a male and female together, the female rate will always be higher. But again, the younger you are, you would be surprised at how much you can purchase at a very young age for a very reasonable amount of money. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, so if someone was to come to you, describe like what they should have probably thought about, and maybe what documentation should they bring to an initial consultation.
We do have a fact gathering form that as we speak, our IT people are installing on our website. It's a form that we typically email out to folks. We ask a lot of questions. We do need to know, of course, your date of birth, your age. We need to know, for example, do you own any real estate? Do you own any assets? What are you comfortable with? If you know long-term care expenses right now, a very minimum is $3,000 a month. Again, where would that come from? And this fact gathering sheet also gathers a great deal of health information. We're not trying to be nosy, but the more we know about your health, the better off we are. Because when we apply for long-term care insurance, what we want to do is we want to avoid getting you declined. Getting declined is not a good idea. So what we like to do is we pre-qualify folks. We get your information, we call the insurance companies and we say, look, we're meeting with a 50-year-old male. He's 5'8", weighs 185 pounds, and he's diabetic. We give all the information and we say to the underwriter, is this something that you might consider? If the underwriter says, well, we'll give it individual consideration, that's a very nice way of saying, probably not, don't send it in. If the underwriter says, sure, send it up. Again, it's the way of filtering out. Don't put clients through all the hoops unless you're positive or pretty positive that there's going to be an offer made. Again, it's based on health, and COVID, unfortunately, has affected the long-term care insurance industry. There are some products right now, certain product designs or funding mechanisms are not available to folks 70 and over. So if you're under the age of 70, if you're in your 60s, definitely want to take a look at long-term care insurance now, because this change just occurred since March, and going forward with COVID, we may see more changes, and maybe that that maximum age will get even lower. Maybe now the insurance companies will say if you're 60 or over. My whole point is take time to explore. And the next best piece of advice I could give is set yourself a deadline. Say, I'm going to take care of this by my next birthday or by the end of the year or by my next anniversary. Just get it done. Have a conversation with your loved ones and put something in place. And when you do put something in place, share it with your support group. Don't keep it to yourself. Because if you buy a policy and you put it in a file and never look at it again, it won't help anyone if you can't speak for yourself. So you've got to share your policy and let your loved ones know, this is what I've got, folks. This is it. Please be aware it's here, and help them understand what it does and does not do. Another thing we do, Eric, we do meet with families and whoever their support system is. So especially if we're working with a widow or a widower, we really would love to have a family member there so that everyone knows what mom or dad did. And hey, this is what mom or dad has. Just be aware it's here. So yeah, does that help?
That's perfect. That's great. So I'm going to put your contact information. So I would encourage everybody, if you're interested, just have any questions, like Linda said, they'll speak to you for free. Obviously, if you move forward, you'll have to, figure that all out. But here's all of her contact information, her phone number, and her website. I did not put your email information up there, but call her or go to the website and then you get a hold of her. And like she said, it sounds like they're going to be putting their questionnaire on the website, and that'll be available soon, which is a great tool for people to talk to. So anyway, Linda, that was great. Very informative. Any final words before we sign off here?
Again, my best advice is take the time now during the holidays, if you do get together with family and friends, to have that conversation that, hey, we need to talk about what's going to happen if mom or dad need care or I need care. That's my best advice. Don't put it off. Have that conversation while you're healthy, because it does make a huge difference. The financial, physical, and really emotional challenge of caring for an infirm adult is remarkable. It's just devastating to a family. So absolutely take the time while you're healthy. And there is an email address on the website. Feel free to contact us. And Eric, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Oh, great. No, really informative. Good stuff. Well, thanks, Linda. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right. So one last thing, I'm going to keep pushing my Assisting Hands Richmond YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe. If you go to YouTube, search for Assisting Hands Richmond to make sure you get to the right place. I'm going to put all my Friday Finish videos are uploaded to there, as well as the dementia workshops that we do. So there's 3 up there already. And then, so if you missed the live version, it'll be on the workshop as well. So anyway, that's all I have. So again, thank you for tuning in. Assisting Hands Richmond, where our goal is to help you remain happy and at home, and have a great weekend, everybody.